Well, first of all, I asked you for this money well over a year ago because you said you were going to send me money on taxes, and then you said my taxes got fucked. So then again, no money, no money. Finally, SummerSlam was announced, and I was like, you know what? You get me SummerSlam tickets, and I'll call it even. And you're like, all right, bet. And
SummerSlam was
then,
announced a couple months after.
but I've been waiting over 2 years for this money.
No, you haven't.
Bullshit! I have the screenshots and the dates of all the money I've sent you over the years.
SummerSlam was literally announced around a year and a half ago for your area.
Yeah, that's when we talked about SummerSlam. And then I heard
Okay,
nothing
but
back. Why
but
am
you
I
just said
echoing? It's driving me nuts.
a year and a half ago was when I told you that I would pay with the taxes. A year and a half ago is when they announced SummerSlam in your area. And how are you waiting 2 years for it if a year and a half ago we talked about SummerSlam?
Yeah, a year and a half ago. How am I waiting 2 years?
How are you waiting
I
two
asked
years
you.
if you said get you SummerSlam tickets? SummerSlam is literally this August.
Yep.
So how are
And
you
did I
waiting 2
not
years for me to pay
message
you
you
back?
back in October and say, hey, I need that money?
Yeah, you did.
And then
Absolutely.
you ignored me, correct?
No. And then we were talking about SummerSlam again because Alex was going to come and he wanted to be there. And you made the comment that you wanted to sit beside Grim.
Yeah, that was when you wanted me to go out to fucking Philly. And I said, no, I don't travel.
We weren't talking about Philly. I had thought that the SummerSlam for that year was going to be in your area. I didn't realize it was the next area. Once I figured out it was the next area, I asked Alex, and he can vouch for this. Would you still go? And he was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I'll fucking travel." He was like, "I told Whitney I would travel." He was like, "She's the one that told me she don't want to travel." He was like, "So that works out better." He said, "Because Whitney told me she's not going to travel. She won't travel to come see me." Blah blah blah. Blah. He said, "So that works out better. I can travel to her." I said, "All right, bet." And Alice can also vouch for it, and it's even a text message that he wanted it to be a fucking surprise, but I want to telling you anyway. I didn't tell you all of it, but I want to telling you anyway. But you can
Right.
ask
This was
Alex.
all for
The tickets were
Mother's
already
Day.
guaranteed.
This was all talking about like around Mother's Day that Alex wanted to surprise me with tickets and blah, blah, blah. And then we stopped talking.
No, this is when you guys had already stopped talking. That's why you made the comment about sitting beside Grim. In his mind, this trip was like going to fix your guys' relationship.
No, this was before it all ended when I was talking to you saying, like, hey, I think I need to end this shit.
I'm telling you. Trust me, I've had enough calls with Alex of him talking about it. It was after. Because he was hoping it wouldn't be awkward. And yeah, I remember the whole thing. It was after.
Whether it was before or after, it was in the same month range.
It was
And
after
I
you
said I
guys
wasn't going
had
to
broke up.
travel to Philly. Why
It was
the
after you
fuck
guys
am I
broke up.
echoing?
I don't know. But at any point when it was being ran around like, oh, Isaac scammed Whitney for 2 years, you could have stepped in and been like, actually, well, that's not exactly how it happened.
No, I
I
said
did
Isaac's
make the
owed me
offer.
money for 2 years. And I did mention the tickets, thank you. Just because other people don't mention the tickets doesn't mean shit. And it doesn't mean the fact that you don't still owe me $500. Like,
Because you need to make
period.
up your mind.
What do you mean make up my mind?
Okay. You said back in October, you hit me up and said that you wanted the money, right?
Yep.
Okay. You had already made the deal for the tickets at that point. I had already hit up Mike about it. And I had told you that.
No, you
You,
didn't. You
because
told
you,
me
no,
you
yeah, I
needed
did
to
on the
hit up
phone.
Mike.
On the phone, I did tell you that. And I said, and you asked about like if there's an update. And I was like, probably not a good time right now because that shit was going on with him and Bridget. Not many people
Uh-huh.
knew about it. I knew about it. And I was like, yeah, not a good fucking time. I said, not a good time. I said, look, let me let the shit blow over and then I'll circle back to it. But now's not the time to be asking about the fucking tickets.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck the tickets. I don't even care if I get the tickets. It was just a way to try to get some of my money back, whether it be tickets, whether it be the money.
Yeah, but
Period.
if SummerSlam was not until August, and the tickets don't even go on sale until probably like May of this year
Tickets went on sale like a year ago.
for
They're already almost
SummerSlam,
sold out. Yes.
no, they didn't.
Bullshit. Because I've been looking at tickets. I looked at them when they were ready for
Yeah, so was
pre-order.
Mike because Mike's getting tickets because he plans on going, which is what I told you in the first place. And Grim's going to be there. I told you all that.
Yeah, Sarah's right with that too. I did. I offered you back in October, or it may have been before October, to pay me $20 here and there. I told you I was struggling with money.
Yeah, but there's a big difference though. If you had already made the agreement, then why go back on it? Be like, never mind. I want the money now instead. And then after that, go back to being like, oh, okay, well, yeah, SummerSlam. When we were
I
talking about
haven't
with
gone
Alex.
back and forth twice. I offered the SummerSlam as an option. And then when that wasn't coming through, I said, I
Who
want my
said it
money
wasn't
back.
coming through?
I hadn't heard anything. And you said you hadn't talked to Mike. And I was watching all the tickets getting sold. So I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I need the
I
money.
told
I
you
got
when we were
bills to
talking about
pay.
it with Alex that it was happening.
I haven't talked to Alex since like April, May, around his birthday, whenever his birthday is.
I said when I had talked to you about it, I had told you it was happening. And your whole thing literally was that you literally said it in text. You was like, I hope I get to sit next to Grim.
Yeah, that was when you were offering tickets for Philly. Like, do we need to keep doing this roundabout circle? Because I
No,
really
not
don't
Philly,
want
not
to.
Philly, not Philly. Yours.
No, you were talking about the one in Philly. And then I realized, oh, it's in Philly. I can't do that. I have agoraphobia. I can't travel.
Yeah, Alex had told me that you weren't going to travel the whole entire thing. And that's when I was like, oh, wait, so this one's not the one in her area? He was like, no. This one's Philly in my area. So I was like, okay, would you be willing to travel then to go to the one in her area? Because I had already let Mike know that this was happening. So I had to ask Alex if he would be willing to travel. And he was like, yeah, I'd be willing to travel. He goes, I was willing to travel before to go meet her, but she didn't want to meet me. So I was like, okay, cool. So we'll do it that way then. I was like, so if you're cool with
So
traveling
why
to
would you
Whitney,
guys come up with that plan for me to, if me and Alex were done and over with, why would there be a plan for me to go to an event with Alex when we're no longer together? That just doesn't make sense to me.
that's a conversation you have to have with Alex.
Well, I'm not going to do the round around. I just want to get paid. I want my money. Period. Done. I just want to move on from all of this.
Well, and like I said, go get it. We talked about it, but you could have
Yeah, so
easily,
why is it still a round
but
around subject?
but you could have. I don't know. Why is it?
I don't know. You're the one talking about it. I'm the one getting tagged saying you're talking about me, so
Hey, Cookie.
I wasn't here.
I'm addressing what you haven't addressed because you even told me in text message. Well, I never said you scammed. You didn't scam, and it's like, okay, so then why didn't you open up your mouth and say something then?
I did say something. I said I never said scammed. I said you owe me money. If other people are using the word scam, that's on them. That's a conversation you need to have
Yeah,
with
and
them.
you could have told more of the stories that have been like, oh, it's been years, 2 years. No, it wasn't 2 years. If you go back and look at the
The
timestamps, because
story has been
I did,
told.
because I looked at the timestamps, and when I went back to look at the timestamps, it was a couple months after you brought that. That's when you first brought up SummerSlam. So
You
you
didn't
literally
pay
waited.
me for almost a
So
full year, and
so
I had
you
to come
so
back
you
around
literally
and tell
waited.
you,
You
hey,
waited a
I
couple
need my
months.
money.
No, you waited a couple months, and then you
Bullshit.
mentioned SummerSlam. You
It
already
is,
said that the SummerSlam was a year and a half ago.
dude, it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit and go
Two
over
years,
dates.
2 years
I
minus a
have
year and a
all
half
the
is 6
screenshots.
months.
I know the dates. I know how long it went without getting paid
So do
before
I.
I had to come back and ask you yet again. And I was told tax season. And then you said the taxes, there was an issue with your taxes. You couldn't pay me. So SummerSlam tickets, whether it's SummerSlam tickets or $500, I just want to be fucking paid, period.
Hold on, Cassie keeps calling me. But no.
Thank you, Anxious.
What?
She's saying, Isaac, Whitney told the story. She did emphasize that you owed her money. Other people interpreted it as a scam.
Yeah, but there's a big difference with saying, well, he's been owing me money. It's like, no, the there was a long period of time that you're supposed to be getting the tickets for this year, and then you told me in October out of nowhere, hey, I need my money back. Like that's like me. Okay, that's like me and Frank. And Frank, let's say Frank
Ugh,
borrows $500 from me, and I'm
I
like,
don't need a story.
yeah,
I really
sure, yeah.
don't.
Okay, well, you're gonna get one. If you don't like it, drop off. So
All
that's
right.
like Frank. So that's like Frank
Deuces.
borrowing $500 from me, and I sit there and I give Frank the money. Here, Frank, here's the money, and he owes me that $500. Frank owes me the $500, and at this time, I'm like, all right, you know what, Frank? Screw it. Instead of paying me $500, you can go ahead and get me tickets to the Taco Fiesta Ball. That's going to happen. So Frank's like, all right, I'll get you tickets to your Taco Fiesta Ball. So I'm like, all right, cool. A year fucking goes by, time goes by. Frank's already making the arrangements for the Taco Fiesta Ball. And then all of a sudden, I hit Frank up out of nowhere and I go, hey, Frank, I got some bills and I'm broke. Can I have my money? And you're like, wait, what the fuck? I already got the other shit in motion. It was supposed to be the tickets. You wanted the fucking tickets. That's what the deal was. Oh, well, I understand we made a deal, but I'm broke. I need money. So it's like, oh, so we're backtracking on the fucking deal?